Hi kids, welcome back to another science part of today's class. In this part of the class, we will go through with you to the experiment we made in class. We made 3 experiments, but today we're going to explain to you only this one in this lesson and one more in the next lesson, and that's it. So as you know, it's so important that you learn to observe. This is based on the lesson that you have on your book, What is Water? Activity book, page 89. Let me get back to this page. Okay, what is water? So what is water? Water is a liquid that doesn't have its own color, okay? It takes the color of the surroundings. It takes the color of the light, for example, or it creates some colors due to some bacteria. But the water itself doesn't have color. It doesn't have a shape, shapes, round, square, triangle, rectangle. It doesn't have. It takes the shape of anything it goes into. For example, in a glass, you put water in a glass, then you can drink it. But itself, the water doesn't have a shape. It doesn't have a size. And you cannot even smell it. So if it smells bad, it's because, as I said, there are bacteria that have been into the water and they gave the extra smell, or something has been maybe some animal have died in the water, so then the water smells very bad. It smells rotten. Okay, but one thing we know about water is that you can feel it. You can feel it. It feels wet. Okay, that's what we know about water. So let's continue with this presentation. So that's important about water. It feels wet. So as I say, no shape. It has no shape. That is amazing about water. It takes the shape of the things around it. And now here, this is water melts. Water melts ice because it is at higher temperature than the ice. So the heat energy is transferred from the water to the ice. Any substance, solid, liquid, or gas that is at a higher temperature than the ice will be able to transfer heat energy to melt the ice. So let's get back again. Water will melt the ice. Why? Because the temperature in the water is higher than the temperature in the ice. Remember, ice is always below zero. So that's why it will melt. What is fog and what causes fog? Fog is a cloud that touches the ground. Fog can be thin or thick, meaning people have difficulty to see through the fog. You see here, it's so foggy that I can hardly see. Fog shows up when water vapor or water in its gaseous form condenses. During condensation, molecules of water vapor combine to make tiny liquid water droplets that hang in the air. So that is what is fog. Remember again. So let me stop in here and say, fog shows up when water vapor or water in its gas form, so vapor is a gas form of water, condenses. Okay, during condensation, molecules of water vapor combine to make tiny liquid water droplets that hang in the air. Children, we need to learn this. That is the proper name of vapor, and we need to learn that. Okay, remember again, during condensation, molecules of water vapor combine to make tiny liquid water droplets that hang in the air. Okay, so that is a condensed form of when the water becomes gas, it condenses, so that's why you see the fog. And this is a beautiful fog up in the mountains. So in this lesson, we are learning about the states of matter, but also more specifically the states of water. Okay, so we have learned what is water, what causes fog, and then we are going to see why water doesn't have any smell. Because we talk about it that water doesn't have any smell of its own. So we have to, like here, look at the girl. She's trying to smell the flowers. We can smell flowers, but can we smell water? Water in its form, in its pure form, in H2O, does not have any smell, or at least no smell at all that we can distinguish, because the receptors in our nose, so here she has in her nose, yeah, and mouth are continuously exposed to. So again, water in its pure form, for example, H2O, does not have any smell. Why? Because, or at least we can, our nose and our mouth cannot distinguish it, okay, because we are too used to it. So a difference of a flower, no smell. Okay, an interesting thing about water is, what is the temperature of water? Okay, we get back to this because it's all right. It's I was telling you the importance of a smell. Water has no smell. We can see water in a gas form that is fogs. We can also see, we know that water can melt ice because the temperature of water is warmer than the ice. Remember, ice is below zero. Okay, and this is important. What is the temperature of water? Okay, we have in here three different meters. Let's see here. Boiling point of water. This is in Fahrenheit. Okay, that is American way of measuring the water. We got Celsius in Taiwan, but in America they use Fahrenheit. Oh, they also have Celsius. Okay, so for example, absolute zero, 0 point, so 0 degrees, either Fahrenheit, Celsius, or the K1. That's it. The melting. It is called. Let's see it here. It's called the melting point of water. Okay, the melting point here in this part. This is the melting point of water. Then we have in here 0 here for 6 degrees. This is the melting point of water. So we have in here freezing point of water is below 0. Okay, then above 0, normally in Taiwan the temperature, let's look at just this thermometer, okay, because the other ones are not for Taiwan. So this one, the normal room temperature is 25 degrees. The human body is 36 degrees, 37 degrees the standard. If you are over 37, it means you have fever, and we have to be careful. Then we have a boiling point of water, which is 100 degrees. So in my experiment that you're going to see afterwards, we are going to melt. We're going to find the melting point of ice. All right, let's continue with this. So, okay, this is the experiment I was telling you about. The change from solid state to liquid state is called melting point. Okay, the liquid state, okay, the temperature at which a substance changes from solid to liquid. So this is what is going to happen in this ice cream. I'm sorry for the ice cream, but I needed something thicker to show you that matter, it can be thick or thin. I also did with chocolate. I will show you in the next video. Okay, let's get back to this. So getting the melting point of this experiment took about 2.5 hours. Children, I reduced. It's been very fast. It goes faster than it actually is. 2.5 hours filming the ice to be melt. Can you imagine that? All right, why did it take that long? Because the local temperature in my apartment was 70 degrees. However, the temperature outside was 35 degrees Celsius. So when you are at home, try to do this experiment, okay? Children, you will learn not only to observe, but you will also learn to see the different changes of matter. Observation is very essential in science. So you have to take time observing, taking notes. If you see the ice here is starting to melt, it's melting slowly, slowly, slowly. Okay, as I was telling you, observation is very essential in science. Scientists use observation to collect and record data. So this is what we are doing. We are recording data. We're recording information. Okay, we know that it took 2 hours and a half to get this video. This video is going super duper fast. It is done with a high speed program. So please be patient. Keep looking. If you keep looking at it, the ice keeps melting. Here you got it almost completely melt. Here ice has reached its melting point. Okay, and there was another experiment that I didn't show you, but here is the melting point of ice. All right, I'm so glad I showed it to you. You can do this all the way around too, so you can make from liquid to solid, so you can make also put ice. Okay, this was the temperature outside. Go back to this part before it ends. Okay, so if you see that this is the melting point of solid. So the change from the solid state to the liquid state is called melting. Remember, melting. So the temperature at which the substance changes from solid to liquid is called the melting point. So at this point, this is the melting point. Why? Because it went over zero. So it passed. It was not below zero when when the ice cream was very solid. The temperature was cooler. It was lower. It was below zero. Now the temperature has reached 0 plus 1. So maybe it's 1 or 2 degrees inside the ice cream. So that's why it has this creamy and liquid texture. Okay, children, I am very excited that I did this experiment. I hope you do this experiment at home. Please remember that it's so important that you observe all the changes. At the end, I took a picture. Let me see where is the picture of this, because that was the temperature outside today, Wednesday, 16th of June. It was 35 degrees in Taoyuan City. So please try to do this. These well documented and recorded information is especially done for you because I do care about the learning of my students, and I hope this has been an inspiring lesson that you can do it at home next time. All right, so this lesson will be shorter because I spent 2.5 hours just observing the melting of this ice. Have a good night and talk to you soon. Bye bye.